Hello everyone, my name is Akal and I am a somatic therapist. If you'd like to find out what it is that I do, you can check out the website I've posted down below the video. So, what we're looking at today is Pushya Nakshatra. This is the the 8th Nakshatra out of 27. Pushya is interesting to me for multiple reasons. One is because it shows a very clear progression of these fundamental energies that underpin all existence. And again, what we're looking at here are the Gunas. The Gunas are the attributes of all creation. So Rajasic Guna is basically expansive, active energy. Tamasic Guna is energy that condenses, contracts, and ultimately focuses on a point. Sattvic Guna is about balance and clarity. So, with Pushya Nakshatra, there's the projection from Yogi Bhajan's book is called the protector. Now, this is a kind of an interesting term because the protection aspect is actually in reference to the tamasic. So it's Rajasic on its base, or its primary level. Sattvic on its secondary level, and Tamasic on the tertiary level. Now what that means is impersonal mind, or the deep sort of subconscious life path. Sattvic is sort of one's functional mind or way. And these two basically add up to the style of the nakshatra. So Rajasic and Sattvic, add up to what they would refer to as leadership energy. Tamas is energy, again, of contraction or materialization. In this particular example here, what tamasic energy is in reference to is that this leadership ability is now being directed towards something. Now, how that differs is that in Punarvasu, the something that the energy is being directed to was non-specific. It could be a number of things. It really was with Punarvasu, which is the nakshatra number 7, which is prior. The energy was more about being busy and then resting, evaluating, busy again, resting, evaluating. The symbol was a bow, and so with a bow, the implication here is that there's a target. Now with Punarvasu, though, the target could be shifting and changing. So what ends up happening with Punarvasu is that they shoot the arrow, hit the target, and then they go back out, retrieve their arrow, go back, put the arrow back in their quiver, and rest. Evaluate whether or not the target was what they really want. So once they evaluate, they once again pull the arrow out, shoot at the new target, and repeat. So what it is, it's about the directed action. It's about the repetition and the development of depth, of understanding, the development of a life path. So now with Pushya, the target is implied almost. Again, we have tamasic energy, which is material. It's condensed, it's material. So within the attitude of these individuals who have Pushya Nakshatra as their moon, their sun, or their ascendant, the tendencies to know what it is that they're going after. And sometimes it could be actually kind of vague and non-specific once again, because the big thing about Pushya Nakshatra is that these are confident individuals. And on a deep level, they also have to cultivate a great deal of faith. And it's faith, and what I wrote down here is faith in the divine plan. So what is the divine plan? Well, the divine plan is the recognition that there's more to the universe than what we understand. And so there's one aspect of surrender there. The other part of the divine plan is that it's recognizing that as the energy moves through us, through our particular structures, our particular way of filtering our realities, that this energy is actually guiding us. So Pushya, a big part of their life path is this cultivation of purity, of clarity, so that they can see clearly how it is that they're being guided. So it's guided to a point, guided to a goal. So now the difference, going back to Punavasu and the bow, is now with Pushya, the symbol is an arrow. It's the way of connecting. It's not the implement of connection. It is the connection to the object. You shoot the arrow, it sticks in it, and off you go. And it's very specific. So in other words, the target isn't moving around. These folks have something very specific they're here to do in this lifetime, which goes back to what their path is described as. So this is a dharma path. This is a path of devotion. It's a path of these individuals were born to do something. And so as they meditate, as they cultivate mindfulness, because that's a big deal with these folks, because there's a sense that when their mind is not tranquil, if they're not still, they can't see that divine path. They can't see what they're doing. They can't see where they're going. So there's all this clarity that opens up for these people as they start to do mindful things, as they cultivate through meditation, through yoga, through qigong, etc., etc., etc. And let's see what else. So something else that kind of should be looked at real quickly is this idea of the flower. So the symbol here of a flower, and this is not a lotus. So these folks are not concerned with spiritual perfection, because spiritual perfection is often kind of an ascetic path, meaning that they're learning to disconnect from the material plane. These folks are not interested in disconnecting from the material. In fact, it's very much about the material. Again, there's all this leadership potential. So Pushya is leadership plus materialization. Leadership could be spiritual leadership, spiritual guidance. You find a lot of religious people with this placement, etc. So, and the materialization is the practical application of that energy. The protector. This is Yogi Bhajan's term for Pushya. So the protector here again goes in reference to this tamasic energy which exists as their attitude. Tamasic energy is protective energy. It's considered the negative mind. The negative mind is fast. It's instantaneous because, again, it's about self-preservation and preservation in general. So with this nakshatra, and I'll read you a quick quote. So it's not really a quote, but Pushya's traits are needed for a dharmic mission. Again, this dharma is what you're born to do. It's a mission. So this faith and confidence that they have in themselves, ultimately what it's doing is that it's crystallizing this mission. And part of their mission, again, is this, how do I say it? Holding on to what is gained. These people have, anytime you see tamasic energy, you're seeing a connection to the past. And so the past is really useful in this context because you're accumulating knowledge and wisdom. These people become very, very wise and very, very knowledgeable, and they know how to apply it. They're not letting go of this information, this content, this wisdom. There's always an application. Whether or not it's available in the moment, they may, I'll give you an example. I studied exercise physiology in college, got my master's in it. It's useless to me when I got out of school. I just had no interest in it. But there was a reason I studied all these sciences. And they really didn't seem relevant to me until rather recently. So here we are, like 10 years later, and now I'm like, I'm sure glad I studied all that biochemistry, because now I kind of understand it. And this is my nakshatra, by the way. This is the one that governs my moon. So I can really relate to the storyline here that goes along with this nakshatra. I'm going to go ahead and show you now how to determine your particular exercise using Yogi Bhajan's book called The Mind, which is the resource I use to connect Kundalini Yoga with the Vedic Nakshatras. All right, here we go. So this is the mind. My well-loved book here, you can tell. It's sort of shabby. And the reason this book is so shabby is this chart on the back. Like, I really have a thing for this chart. This chart was really what ultimately connected with me on a deep level. There was almost an intuitive draw to this chart when I first saw it. And it was, again, you know how intuition works, is you never know why you're drawn to something. So what this chart does is it shows the precipitation from universal mind down through to what they call the 27 projections. Now, the 27 projections are the 27 Nakshatras of Vedic astrology. And what this shows is the condensing of the elements. So from ether to air to fire to water to earth. So as you move through the levels, you become progressively denser. Now, how I figured out which nakshatra goes with Pushya is that I knew that Pushya nakshatra had at its base rajas energy, or it says right here, ahankar. That's what you call it when it moves into the impersonal mind. And that is the energy of, it says right here, it bounds, contains, attaches, identifies, and categorizes. So what you do then is that, so it's rajasic, and then on a secondary level, it is sattvic, or neutral mind, which is the functional mind. That's the aspect of our mind we often pretty much has a close relationship with, and we may recognize. And so finally, on the third level, the tertiary level, you have tamasic, which is this negative or protective energy. So now where that is right here. So it's positive, neutral, negative, and it's the assessment of the position, the protector. So now I'm going to go ahead and show you what the exercise looks like. So projection 22, the protector. And a little blah, blah, blah. The name, I'm not going to bother pronouncing that, but that's the name of the meditation. Here's a description of how to do the meditation. That's what it looks like. Here's the mantra. And this mantra is, it's pretty simple. It's just Wahe, 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 Guru. Anyway, it's done from 4 to 8 repetitions per breath for a maximum of 31 minutes, which would imply a minimum of 3 minutes. And I think it's interesting here that it says the meditation takes away your self-pride and vanity, which I think is actually pretty applicable because, again, with this nakshatra, there's a lot of confidence. And that confidence, sometimes, like I said, it can be kind of false, and it can come across as self-pride and vain. So with all that said, I'm going to go ahead and demonstrate the meditation. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and demonstrate this exercise, this particular meditation. So first thing we're going to look at is the thumbs. So it's interesting that this one of the reported benefits of this meditation is it takes away self-pride and vanity. The thumbs are representative of the ego. So this is a way in which you purify your ego on a certain level. So first thing we're going to do is you want to pull up nice and tall. So you have your sit bones, your perineum. So usually what I do is I push those down into the floor. And then finally I lift up the chest. Further lifting the chest by anchoring the chin downward, which is neck lock. So the mudra, hand position, are the thumbs touching. So held at the level of the heart, thumbs touching. with quote unquote 25 pounds of pressure. Well, I'm not exactly sure how to quantify 25 pounds of pressure in terms of how you feel it, but you want to create 25 pounds of pressure between your thumbs. So I've got 25 pounds of pressure right here. Now the dristi, or the eye position, is not it's not stated in the description. So usually what I do is I default with the tip of the nose, or I close my eyes, roll the eyes up, or I look at the brow point, or 9/10 shut. So in this context, I'm going to go to my default, which is looking at the tip of the nose. Now the mantra is done it's a minimum of 4 times on one breath. So it's inhaling a deep breath, so bringing all the air in, and then what you're going to do is you're going to repeat the mantra, Wahe, 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 Guru, Wahe, 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 Guru, Wahe, 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 Guru, 4 times. By that 4th time, you're completely out of air. Now, if you have better lung capacity, or if you're not doing this really loud, I suggest you do this particular mantra in a monotone and not super forceful, because the more forceful you are, the more you're going to expel air as you're doing the mantra. So I suggest allowing it just to fall out, allowing the sounds just to fall out. In this way, you can do 5 repetitions, 6 repetitions, 7 repetitions, 8 repetitions. Again, it's all depending on what your breath capacity is, your lung capacity. So let me go ahead and demonstrate this. So thumbs together, 25 pounds of pressure, pulled up nice and tall. And I also like to think like I'm balancing literally my entire existence on the pressure through my thumbs. It's like my whole body wants to adjust in order to balance that pressure, which seems a little cryptic. Those of you who understand the concept of leading with the heart might understand this, but the idea here is that your whole body, once you set your arms, your whole body will shift and adjust in order to create a balance. So if I put my arms out here, the tendency, again, how does my body find a balance point? Well, I got to pull up a little taller, etc. So your body will shift in order to accommodate the heart position. So 25 pounds of pressure. All the breathing is done through the nose. Inhale a deep breath. Eyes to the tip of the nose. Wahe, 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 Guru, Wahe, 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 Guru, Wahe, 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 Guru, Wahe, 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 Guru. And then all the air's out. Inhale. And repeat. So that's all it is you're just over and over and over again. Now to finish, what you're going to do is you're going to inhale, retain the breath, continue pressing the thumbs together, 10 to 20 seconds, exhale and relax. So again, let me go ahead and refresh it. So inhale, deep breath, full of air, 4 repetitions of Wahe, 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 Guru, 4 times. By the 4th time, all the air is out. Inhale and repeat. So hopefully that's understood and it's very clear. This really is kind of a neat meditation. I say this about all the damn meditations, of course. But this one, again, I kind of like it because I've noticed personally, I've noticed the effects of this doing this one. And again, all these practices, all these meditations, whether or not they're specific to this nakshatra or that nakshatra, again, I like the approach that I'm taking here because it's specific to you. It's specific to you, the individual. So regardless of what the exercise is, though, you can randomly choose any sort of meditation or practice, and ultimately all techniques are leading you towards your center. At least in the Kundalini Yoga system, Taoism and a lot of other practices. So with all that said, thank you for watching the video.